Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some more positive news recently released around Tesla stock. And before we get into this news, of course, we do have to address the fact that Tesla stock is taking a huge hit right now. It basically crashed today at minus 15% if you count the after hours. So this is definitely a big dip for Tesla. But when you really think about it, the $380 share price right now, if you multiply that by 5, that's about $1,900. So even in retrospect, looking at that in terms of the pre-split value, it's still pretty high compared to what we saw it at previously, with a movement of $1,374 per share all the way up to like $2,500 per share if you factor in the new split adjusted basis where it hit like $498 just a matter of a few days ago on Monday. So Tesla stock has taken a huge hit recently, with today pretty much just crashing for the stock. And this has been happening ever since Tuesday with the announcement of the $5 billion share offering, in which Tesla will be raising more capital to scale their company even more and possibly use that towards a future Gigafactory or two as well. So it was interpreted as a bad thing, even though I thought the capital raise was actually a really smart idea. And with that, on Wednesday, we also had like a big snowball effect where since it dropped on Tuesday, it dropped more on Wednesday, where there was a lot of people on Monday buying Tesla stock at all-time highs that were probably not long-term investors. And then of course they experienced that drop day on Tuesday and then realized on Wednesday that decline in share price would be continuing. So as people's position value started to go into the negative where they weren't making profits anymore, then we had a lot of these short-term investors selling Tesla stock. And I think we're just having a snowball effect right now, especially in combination with today where just the general stock market across the board had a pretty significant drop. You have that in combination with this most recent share offering leading to a lot of people selling off shares, and because of people selling off shares, that led to a snowball effect on Wednesday of more people selling off shares because they just couldn't stomach the losses, since a lot of them likely bought on Monday. And then like I said, you have that in combination with today, in which the general stock market is just not performing well. So unfortunately, it's kind of the perfect storm at this point for a pullback for Tesla stock. However, some of us may be saying fortunately, because as a lot of us know, Tesla stock has been skyrocketing recently and it has just been becoming more and more expensive. So this is actually presenting itself an opportunity for those investors that have been really wanting to get in on Tesla stock and hoping for a pullback. So that is good news in itself, and I just wanted to address the current share price that's minus 9.02% for today and another minus 6.5% in after hours as I'm recording this. So just addressing this news piece, this isn't directly related to like analysts discussing the stock in terms of price targets, but it is related to the company and some new information about Tesla in Germany that was recently released today. And as I've said, this is positive news. So as always, if you all do enjoy these Tesla videos, especially the news videos, please make sure to smash that like button. I really do appreciate it. But just getting into this one, just want to give you guys full disclosure before we get into this news piece. I want to mention that there's really not a lot of articles discussing this right now, and this news piece is in German. So for one of the articles, I had to use Google Translate to translate it to English, and there's still like a little bit lack of clarity on the chart where everything is in German. So there is kind of that language barrier here, and I have to admit I'm a little bit confused on some of these numbers here where it doesn't go into like full clarity on it since we don't have the full context since the charts are in German. So just a heads up ahead of time, this is something that I found on the Tesla Investors Club subreddit, and this was actually posted by an individual user, and I haven't seen any news websites cover this just yet, so I don't really have like full clarity on this, but I'm just trying to give you all the information that is available, and we'll try to work through it if we can. So anyways, like I said, just to give credit to the original poster of this information, this is in the subreddit r/Tesla Investors Club, and this was posted by user Don Match A. So as always, thank you for the information. I really appreciate people finding stuff like this so we can learn more about the company and the progress that they're making and also discuss it. So thank you to that user. And the title of their post states, Tesla grows year-on-year deliveries in Germany while every other brand tanks up to 80%. And so before we even get into this chart, I just want to say I read every single comment in this comment section, and there's still not context in comparison of this chart to the other article that we're going to read off. So just to give you all a heads up ahead of time, I don't have full clarity on some of these things just because of this language barrier, but this is the chart that they posted, and according to their post title, this is about year-on-year deliveries, I believe. So just looking at this chart alone right here, the one thing you can notice right off the bat is that there's only one automotive company in the green. And so I'm assuming the comma, that just means like 11.2% growth in registrations. The rest of these companies have actually retracted in growth. So if you look at the one that's in the green, it's actually Tesla. So 11.2% growth. It says January through August 2019, but the post title says year-on-year growth. And then also this other article that we'll be mentioning mentions year-on-year growth. So I'm not 100% sure on what this chart is actually all about, whether it's year-on-year growth or whether it's January through August of 2019, or if it's some other statistic, but this does involve August of 2020 right here. But the important thing to keep in mind is that this is new information that was just released on September 3rd. And like I said, it's likely that we'll get more context on this in the future as the bigger news sources start to cover it. But so far, this is all we have. And then another article I'll show you in just a second. But as I've said, a lot of these have actually drawn back significantly. So even with Alfa Romeo, that's minus 36.5%. Then you also have the big one in Germany, which is Renault. That is at minus 21.3%, and that's the one that actually has been out-competing Tesla in Germany, I believe. That's the one location where the Model 3 just isn't doing as well. I think the Renault Zoe is doing much better than the Model 3. And so that's something that we've addressed in previous videos before, where the Renault is actually ahead of Tesla in Germany. Now, to me, that doesn't make sense just because I think you get more of a quality product with Tesla. You get more value for your money just because of the fact that, like we've addressed before, Tesla has these advantages in battery efficiency, software, full self-driving capabilities, and then, of course, the small things as well that you can appreciate, like Easter eggs and over-the-air upgrades and things like that. But just addressing this chart, this alone says something about Tesla. And it's pretty interesting because if you look at every single one of these companies, even ones like Renault and Porsche and Kia and Hyundai and Honda and Ford, all of these are retracted. They're at minus different percentages, whereas Tesla is the only one on this chart at plus 11.2%. Just to address some of the ones that are down a lot, you have Opel at minus 47.6%, Smart at minus 81.8%, Suzuki at minus 50%. So, of course, a lot of these ones that are down significantly are just like some of those brand names that I've never even heard of. So there are a few that we can recognize here though. Like I said, you have Renault, that's a big one in Germany right now. You have Porsche at minus 22.1%, Volvo at minus 16.9%, BMW has to be somewhere. So BMW is at minus 18.6%. So like I said, the post title did say that Tesla has grown with year-on-year deliveries compared to pretty much every other company that is in the negative right now. So that's something to keep in mind. But where it gets a little bit confusing is right in this article over here, and we'll get into that. And so this article was also linked in the comments section by the original poster, I believe, on that Reddit post. And so I believe this was originally posted on March 9th, 2020. However, it has been updated, and it says vehicle registrations in August 2020, and this is the press release. And so you have this date right here as well that says September 3rd, 2020. So it has been updated just today. Just a heads up, you all will probably be watching this on September 4th. So as it starts out here, it states Flensburg 251,044 passenger vehicles were registered in August 2020 compared to the same month last year. There was a decrease of minus 20%. So this is about the Flensburg vehicles, but I did mention this because this sentence kind of involves what the rest of these paragraphs are about, in which it says were registered in August 2020 compared to the same month last year. So I believe this article right here is all about comparing the registrations to the same time last year, which would be August 2019. And so a lot of these vehicles that you see right here are in the negative. However, two that stand out are BMW, in which it says plus 15.2% recorded a double-digit increase in the new registration statistics for German brands, and it states while the statistics for Mini plus 3.3% showed a single-digit increase. And then it continues to talk about a lot of these like Porsche at minus 49.5%, Opel minus 46.8%, Audi minus 35%, Ford minus 26.1%, Mercedes down 3.7%, then Volkswagen also down 16.9%. So keep in mind, it's important to take note of how Volkswagen is performing, and especially Audi as well, given the fact that both the CEOs of Volkswagen and Audi have stated that Tesla is 2 years ahead of them. And so just taking all of that into consideration, it does note that Tesla is up 453.7%, and it states that it showed the strongest growth in the import brands. So out of all the imported vehicles for Germany, Tesla is the one with the strongest growth. So this is really important to take note of right here, especially as a lot of these non-imported vehicles are in the negative and far into the negative for some of them, whereas Tesla is up over 100%, over 4 times 100% at plus 453.7%. This is absolutely huge. And of course, it also does mention ones like Jeep as well, that is plus 40.3%, Nissan's up 13.5%, DS is up 11.9%, but none of these really compare to how Tesla is performing at plus 453.7% for August 2020 compared to the last year. So although we have been looking at these numbers where the Renault Zoe is beating out the Tesla Model 3, if we compare to how Tesla was doing last year, we're actually seeing a huge amount of progress. Okay, so I think I just figured some things out with this now that I've read through it once again. If we take a look at this chart back here, I did find that the number, the plus 453.7%, that's in this section right here. And so that says August 2019 in percentage. And so we know that article that we just read references this piece, and it's comparing August 2020 to August 2019 and the improvement since then over this year. So this is all about the improvements that we see between the difference of August 2020 this year and August of 2019. So that category is all about that. So I'm wondering if this one is about comparing January through August of 2020 to January through August of 2019 and the improvements that we've seen since then. So I actually think this could be what this section of this chart is all about right here. Even though we haven't really gotten a solid explanation, I think that's what this could all be about. Now, of course, don't take my word on this because I'm not 100% sure, but I think I've figured this out possibly because it's starting to make a little bit more sense. So like I said, the plus 553.7% improvement for this most recent August in Germany compared to August of last year. So that's what this category is all about. So I believe since that's comparing it to the August of last year, that this chart right here is all about comparing January to August of 2020 to January through August of 2019. So we're basically looking at an 8-month range in 2020 compared to an 8-month range in 2019, in which Tesla is actually the only one that is continuing to improve and expand and actually increase its percentage in comparison to a lot of these other companies that have not improved since this time range in 2019. So like I said, I honestly at first when I was recording this video, I wasn't really sure on what this time range meant and why we saw a difference between this and the article. But now, like I said, the article mentions this 453%. So like I said, this is for all of the companies in which there's a comparison of registrations for August of 2020 compared to registrations for all of these companies in August of 2019. And then we can use that same thing over here where it applies. So like I said, there's that comparison of the time range of January through August of 2020 compared to last year for the time range of January through August of 2019. So this actually makes complete sense now that I found this number right here. So like I said, hopefully you all understand what I'm trying to say here. I know it's not the best explained, but I think we've figured this out. Even though there are some language barriers here, we can kind of course, interpret some of these words like the months and stuff like that to help us out. So anyways, that's still big in itself. We've seen an absolutely huge increase in which Tesla is dominating every single other company when we compare August of this year to August of last year. And then also when we compare the time range of January through August of this year compared to January through August of last year, Tesla is the only one in the positive percentage, whereas others have retracted and actually gotten less registrations according to this chart, I believe. But anyways, I just wanted to share this news piece with you all because as we are starting to see these things happening across the world, and especially in Germany where Tesla doesn't have as big of a presence, it seems, in terms of sales, where like the Renault Zoe is doing better than the Tesla Model 3, these things are nice to see because these are locations where Tesla isn't as dominant compared to other locations like in California in the United States and in the UK, and like especially in China as well, where the Model 3 is really popular. So this is good news in terms of us finally seeing a transition not only to EVs, but people starting to buy more Teslas, and with us simply just seeing more growth in Tesla registrations for this company. So as always, please make sure to smash that like button if you all enjoyed this video, and also feel free to sign up to Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link, you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400, and all you have to do is sign up with my referral link and deposit $100 into your account, and you'll get some free stocks, which is nice passive income. You can take that $100 right back out after you get your free stocks, so it's basically just free money. But hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.